Jack is pulling up, returning home, and he sees the front door open. He just pulls up right to the lawn, hops out the truck. Doesn't bother turning the truck off, just closing the door. He runs in because he knows something is wrong. Goes to the bouquet of roses, runs to the backyard, and he sees little Kimmy in a pool of blood. And then Elizabeth and Judy's bodies. He picks up Kimberly's body and says, "Why, God, why?" Call the cops. The cops come. He says, "We have to call Judy's parents." Jack's just in disarray. He's thinking, "Oh my God." And the police are doing their investigation. And they go and they check in through the night. The neighborhood is shaken by what had happened. They talk to the neighbors and the Del Hero family. They were out of town on a trip. They just arrived back home that morning. And they said, on this note on the door, it reads, "Dear Del Hero family, me and my friends are going to be having a girls' night. And if we get too loud for your liking, please call me." And they wrote Kimmy's number down. She said, "Thank you very much, your neighbor Kimmy." And they talked to the Reed family, and the Reed family said she came over and told us the same thing. So we watched movies in the basement, had surround sound on, and we just spent our night down there, so we didn't disturb, or they didn't disturb us. He said that little girl, we both had said she is such a well-mannered little girl. Spider and his crew decided to take off to the mountains. They were lay low, camping. It's all the heat goes way down the city. And they're sitting around the campfire. CJ gets up. So I gotta take a piss. He walks off down ways. He's pissing, looking, and he sees a little girl with glowing eyes. His whole zips up, goes to turn around, and the little girl's right there. He's startled, he steps back, slips on a rock, and head impaled through a branch in the tree. Marco and Frank says, "There's only 3 beers left. We're gonna shoot down, get some more. You guys want anything else? So bring me some pack of smokes." So Marco and Frank heading down the mountain. And as they're coming around a turn, they see the image of the little girl. Marco gets freaked out. He tries slamming on the brakes and pedals straight to the floor. And as the truck's picking up more and more speed and right over the cliff. And as they look and going off the cliff, the little girl appears right in between them, just smiling. Where the truck crashes to the fall to their death. And they're sitting at the campfire. He's like, "What was that?" And I was like, they just were making fun of him, laughing at him. He had been drinking all day. He's drunk. He said, "I'll go lay down." Leonard gets up and he's going to get in his tent. He opens the tent and the little girl image is inside the tent. Before he can move back, the tie-down rope he had wraps around his neck. It gets tighter and tighter as the little girl just smiles and waves at him until it chokes him to death. The guys are sitting around the fire laughing. It's like, Lou gets up and says, "I'm gonna go check on him." So Lou starts walking over to check on him. Spider's sitting there with Dave, and Spider reaches in his pocket and pulls out jerky that says "To Daddy." I don't want some. Rips it open and gets a piece. Goes to hand it back to Dave, and Lou starts walking backwards towards the fire. And Dave and Spider look at each other, like, "What the hell?" Lou turns around and he has a bottle of beer embedded into his head. Falls down right in front of him. The bottle gets impaled further into his head where the top of the bottle comes out, and it pops open like champagne on New Year's Eve, spewing blood. But what the hell? And they see the little girl's image. Spider's knife comes out of his holder and just right into Dave's chest and starts carving and slicing. And the little girl appears right in front of Spider and says, "See what happens when you struggle?" Jack has to go to the police station. He's talking to a psychiatrist there. And they hear over the police intercom. It says, "We've had this weird incident." Like, okay, go over. And the officer on scene says, "There was a crash." So we went to investigate the crash on the truck. But we get up to the top here in the campsite and the bodies are all laid out side by side. We're assuming the two bodies here are from the crash because they're burnt. They have glass and car parts embedded into them. And they're like, "What?" And everybody starts listening even harder. He says, "Yeah, and the bodies have initials carved, or letters carved into their chests." He says, "Okay." And he starts listening even harder, and goes, and it spells out the word. And you hear a little girl's voice say, "Bunches." And everybody just freaks. Jack starts crying, and they know that the voice that they heard was not the voice of the officer on scene. And that was What Was That by Gary Agurries.